네, 안녕하세요. 지금부터 제5회 국제문화학술발표대회를 시작하겠습니다. 저는 대회를 주관하는 사단법인 한국국제문화우호협회 팀장 한승훈입니다. 예, 이렇게 주말에도 불구하고 시간을 내주셔서 자리를 빛내주시는 여기 모든 참석자분들께 진심으로 감사의 말씀드립니다. 아울러 본대회 참가자 여러분들의 많은 관심과 열정에도 감사의 인사를 드립니다. 먼저 저희 협회 이수현 이사장님의 인사말 영상으로 보시겠습니다.
안녕하세요. 사단법인 한국국제문화우호협회 이사장 이수현입니다. 인문학적 소양을 겸비한 글로벌 인재를 양성하기 위해 시작된 국제문화학술발표대회가 올해로 5번째를 맞이하게 되었습니다. 그동안 많은 참가자들이 이번 발표대회를 통해서 개인적으로 성장하는 모습을 보고 제 개인적으로도 상당한 보람과 가치를 느끼고 있습니다. 이번 대회 역시 많은 발표자들이 참가를 하게 되었는데 오늘 이렇게 바쁘신 가운데 참석해 주신 네이벤 여러분, 학교 관계자 여러분, 그리고 가족 여러분들 진심으로 감사드리고 이들이 끝까지 잘 발표할 수 있도록 응원을 해주시기 바랍니다. 다시 한번 이 자리를 빌어 이번 발표대회 준비를 위해서 신경 써주신 많은 분들께 진심으로 감사를 드립니다. 고맙습니다.
네, 감사합니다. 이어서 격려사가 있겠습니다. 예, 이번 격려사는 저희 대회 이전 참가자 두 학생이 말씀을 해주실 텐데요. 먼저 미국 오자크 대학 간호학과에 재학 중인 진솔 학생의 영상 보시겠습니다.
My name is Chin Sol, and I had the privilege of participating in the second International and Cultural Study Contest in 2021. During the contest, I presented the animal farm, focusing on its connections to the Russian Revolution. This experience was incredibly enriching, and I believe that each one of you have also grown from this opportunity. Currently, I am a junior nursing student in College of the Ozarks, and I'm also working in a nursing office of our college. My college life has provided me with countless opportunities for academic and personal growth, and balancing between work, study, and clinical has been a challenge, but also rewarding. To all the participants of this contest, I extend my best wishes, and your dedication and hard work will surely shine through in your presentations. Remember to embrace your learning process and journey. Thank you for listening.
네, 감사합니다. 이어서 다음으로 작년 4회 참가자였죠. 미국 콜롬비아 대학에서 현재 바이오메디컬 석사과정 중인 오성주 학생의 영상을 보시겠습니다.
Congratulations on the 5th International Cultural and Academic Study Contest. This event will serve as a valuable opportunity for people from diverse cultural and academic backgrounds to come together, share knowledge and experiences, understand each other's differences, and gain new insights. I'd like to extend my gratitude to everyone who has worked hard and dedicated their efforts to preparing for this contest. Through the previous contest, I have personally grown and found new inspiration to plan and challenge the future. I hope that all the participants in this contest will have a meaningful experience and that it becomes a valuable opportunity for you to acquire new knowledge and experiences. Once again, congratulations on the opening of the 5th International Cultural and Academic Study Contest, and I wish all participants the best in their challenges and pursuits. Thank you.
네, 감사합니다. 이어서 열방아카데미 이경만 교장 선생님의 내빈 소개가 있겠습니다. 박수로 맞이해 주시기 바랍니다.
이렇게 와주셔서 감사합니다. 이거는 우리 학생들을 위한 잔치입니다. 그래서 이 축제에 함께 해주심에 감사합니다. 먼저 모든 분들이 감사한 내빈들이시지만 몇 분을 제가 좀 소개를 하고자 합니다. 먼저 소개하면 잠깐 일어섰다가 앉으시면 그냥 박수를 계속 쳐주시면 좋을 것 같습니다. 예. 저희 이사님, 우리 정상석 이사님, 최성준 이사님, 그리고 우리 권영주 장로님 함께 해주셨습니다. 전 외국어고등학교 국제부장님들이십니다. 예, 저희 학교에는 또 카운셀러로도 이렇게 일해 주시죠. 우리 우동아 박사, 이대희 쌤, 최복규 부장님, 김영인 부장님, 한꺼번에 심사위원으로 함께하셨습니다. 우리 교수분님들도 오셨는데요. 우리 오건택 전주대 교수님, 정정료 경민대학교 교수님 오셨습니다. 백이숙 사회복지대학교 교수님 오셨고, 우리 김선영 박사님도 함께 해주셨습니다. 우리 이제 대림 계열사 사장이고 현재 우리 관리 그리고 신문사 대표이신 우리 김영복 사장님 함께 하셨습니다. 제가 특별히 우리 젊은 분을 제가 오늘 초청을 했는데요. 우리 K-팝의 시간이라는 책 저자입니다. 필명으로 나와 있지만 또 K-팝 소설 작가이고 카카오 스토리 웹소설 작가입니다. 우리 김은우 작가, 우리 영어도 엄청 잘합니다. 그래서 제가 좀 평가를 부탁을 할까 합니다. 우리 김은우 우리 작가님 오셨습니다. 우리 권상한 우리 선생님 오셨나요? 우리 권상한 선생님. 우리 조성엽 기자하고 홍진 기자님은 계속 활동을 하고 계시고요. 그래서 그 외에 많은 내빈들이 오셨는데 오늘 시간 관계상 다 소개는 못하고 많은 팀이 오늘 합니다. 길게는 1년 3개월까지 준비한 팀이 있어요. 보통 1년은 단어만 보통 이렇게 오랫동안 준비했습니다. 영어를 잘하는 것이 중요한 게 아니라 내용이 얼마나 깊은가 이런 것을 보시는 것이 좋을 것 같습니다. 정말 함께해 주셔서 감사합니다.
네, 소개 말씀 감사드립니다. 자, 이제 발표에 앞서 오늘 대회 진행을 맡은 대원외고 단가이 무자이 학생에게 이 마이크 넘기도록 하겠습니다. 두 학생에게 많은 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
Nice to meet you. We are students of Day 1 Foreign Language High School, Dangai and Mujai. Today we are in charge of hosting. This contest is divided in 2 parts, and 22 members will present in 16 times.
Today's first presenters are Chang-gun, Shin En-seo, and Yo-sun, students of All Nations Academy. Please welcome them with a round of applause.
Hello everyone, we are
장건,
신은서,
이하성.
we are going to tell you about Cinderella type story analysis. Table of contents.
Chapter 1, Introduction. There are more than 100 different versions of the Cinderella type stories told around the world, and it is known for Kongji and Patji.
Chapter 2, Theoretical Background, Historic City. The Cinderella type story is known as the Kongji and Patji. Understanding the Cinderella type story can help us comprehend not only Korean culture, but also cultures around the world.
The feminist point of view. It carries a typical message of human liberation from a feminist perspective.
Characters of Kongji and Patji and Cinderella. A. Kongji and Patji characters analysis. Kongji, she is the main character of this story. Patji, she is the one of the villains that bothers Kongji. Stepmother, she is another villain who bothers Kongji. The birth mother, she dies 100 days after Kongji's birth. Wonnim, he is Kongji's husband and job is governor.
Bull, fairy, and birds. They are characters who helped Kongji. The servant of Wonnim. He brings Kongji's shoes to Wonnim. Kongji's family tree is like this.
B. Cinderella character analysis. Cinderella, she is the main character of this story. Cinderella's mother urged her to live a good life. Stepmother, She was a widow and not allowing her to attend parties in the country. Whitebird flew to Cinderella and granted her a wish. Prince. Eventually, he married Cinderella. Two sisters. On the wedding day, the two sisters were blindsided by the two white pigeons and lost their eyesight.
Previous studies on Cinderella type in Korea. Kim Jong-hwan's A Study on a Comparative Story of Korea and Romania. Chapter 3, Main Body, Research Hypothesis. This is the result of the spread and expansion of the story of a particular region to another region.
Content summary. A. Narrative paragraph summary of Cinderella. The stepmother makes her stepdaughter work in the kitchen as a maid. She names her Cinderella and mistreats her. A three-day feast is held in the country to select the prince's wife. A bird gifted her a dress made of golden thread and silk embroidered shoes.
The prince plans to spread resin on the stairs to find the owner of Cinderella's shoe. He then goes to the girl's house to search for her. B. Narrative paragraph summary of Kongji and Patji. After Kongji's mother died, her new stepmother brought her daughter Patji along. Wonnim married Kongji. Patji lured Kongji into a pond and killed her after she pretended to be Kongji.
Kongji asked the grandmother to reveal the truth and let Wonnim know. Wonnim held a funeral for Kongji's body, killed Patji, and sent a sultan feast to her home. The roles of men. The men who are important in the Cinderella type stories are the father and the husband of Kongji. Unfortunately, the father had worked to make ends meet. Men played the role of judges. Wonnim made Patji into a sultan fish and sent it to her mother. Cinderella complex. The meaning of this is to give up their self-reliance will and rely on men for everything.
Symbolism in both stories. A. The hazel tree and animal symbolize the mother. Cinderella type. The hazel tree represents the resurrection of a dead mother. Kongji and Patji. The animals substitute the role of the dead mother. B. The meaning of shoes and the magnolia flower. Shoes. The shoes that fit your feet is a symbol of an appropriate physical partner. Confronting elements. This solution becomes the core of the Cinderella story, which revolves around the women and the dynamics of family.
Type analysis. Kongji and Patji and the Cinderella story both belong to the punishment type. In Kongji and Patji, a person is made into salted fish. In the Cinderella type story, two white pigeons pecked at the eyes. Chapter 4, Conclusion. The Cinderella type story is about the harmony between humans and nature in the face of conflict. This symbolizes the balance and harmony between nature and culture. Chapter 5, References. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Thank you. I enjoyed your presentation. Next, there is a presentation of Son Ji-hye, Lee Yong-gi, and Kang Jina. They are also all nations academy students. Please give them warm applause.
Hello everyone.
We are students of all nations academy. Today's presenters are
Yong-gi,
강진아, 성지혜. Today we'll be presenting a story of the plot structure of Henry's works. Contents.
Chapter 1, Introduction. This study aims to analyze the characteristics of Henry's works, focusing on his stories, The Last Leaf and The Gifts of the Magi. Chapter 2, Theoretical Background. Number 1, William Sidney Farrar. William Sidney Farrar named himself after a cat he owned named O. Henry.
Number 2, Potter's lifetime. In 1893, Potter made his literary debut in the Rolling Stone magazine. He reflected that his time in prison significantly influenced his works. Number 3, overview of works. Henry's notable works showcase his distinctive storytelling style and themes of sacrifice and empathy.
Number 4, The Last Sleep. Sue shares a boarding house with a fellow art student named John C. During a winter, John C. falls ill with pneumonia. Sue gives John C. courage through unwavering positivity. Number 5, The Gift of the Maggie. The protagonists, James and Della Young, struggle to make ends meet on a meager income. Della decides to sell her long, beautiful hair to purchase a platinum chain for James.
Number 6, Characters in The Last Sleep. Sue encourages her roommate to not give up in the face of illness. John C. She regains her spirit after seeing the last remaining leaf painted by someone. Behrman. Despite the appearing gruff and blunt on the outside, he has a warm heart and a spirit of sacrifice toward neighbors.
Number 7, characters in The Gift of the Maggie. Della wants to buy a watch chain for her husband. Jim sells his precious watch he received from his grandfather for Della. Number 8, structural elements in O. Henry's writing. Henry's work was the example of a well-crafted story.
Number 9, Twist Endings. The downfall in his stories are often given a comical twist that made O. Henry famous. Number 10, Previous Study. Pandora is fooled once again. Henry James had once described short stories as a slice of life, and for nearly 100 years.
Chapter 3, Main Analysis. Number 1, Triangular Narrative Structure. Henry frequently employs a triangular narrative structure in his stories, involving three main characters or elements that intersect in unexpected ways. Number 2, Case studies of twist endings. By analyzing stories like The Gift of the Maggie and The Last Leaf, this section explores how Henry masterfully executes twist endings to enhance his storytelling.
Number 3, analysis of the last leaf. First, John C. believes that the last leaf of the tree is a sign of impending death for John C. herself, and it's Behrman's belief that John C. will soon make a masterpiece of her life. Number 4, analysis of the gift of the Maggie. Henry makes the reader nervous until the last sentence. The reader never would have expected that her husband would sell his precious watch to buy a comb, and that his wife would cut her beautiful hair to buy him a watch strap.
Number 5, Evaluation of O. Henry's works. O. Henry's short story is widely read because its contents are concise and rich in imagination and warm humor to show the lives of ordinary people in various ways. In the history of American literature, O. Henry most clearly depicts the lives of Americans, especially New Yorkers. You can see the real-life situation at that time by seeing the prevalence of pneumonia.
The characters are immersed in romance because they showcase appreciation or humor in his novels, but it can also be said that his stories depict ordinary people's lives with empathy and understanding. In particular, the new technique of so-called twist ending that overturns the reader's anticipation and expectations and reversing the ending has become his trademark.
In Henry's works, most of the characters are poor and underprivileged, which is depicted as the background throughout his stories. John C. and Sue were poor painters as well as bearmen, a painter struggling like them. What contents from these two works impressed us? Chapter 4, Conclusion. While studying Henry's works, we analyzed the contents and characters of these two works against the theoretical background. We also introduced the twist-ending case of these two works, The Last Leaf and The Gift of the Magi. Chapter 5, References.
Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Thank you so much. Next, the third presenter is Kim Jae-yeon, Yanghyun High School at Jeonju. He'll present this year following last year. Let's give him a big hand.
Hello everyone. I'm going to tell you about the critical analysis on the tragedy of the commons. Chapter 1, Introduction. I discovered overfishing and excessive fish stock development through the news. Investigating further, I explored solutions like lawmaking and legalization. I will look at the theoretical cases of the tragedy of the commons and the problems occurring in our society and environment. Chapter 2, Theoretical Background. 1. Gary Taldin. Gary Taldin, the author of The Tragedy of the Commons, was an American biologist and microbiologist. Number 2, the enclosure movement. The enclosure movement was a response to inflation by landlords. It consists of 2 phases. First, targeting shepherding. Second, focusing on intensifying agriculture. Number 3, NIMBY, PIMBY, banana. Number 4, self-sufficiency. In the Eastern philosophy, a representative figure is Laozi, Xunzi, and Confucius. These philosophers underscored the link between self-sufficiency, self-respect, and balance in life. In the Western philosophy, a representative figure is Epicurus, Thoreau, Marx, and Engels. This thinker shaped the perspective valuing individual dignity and freedom. In the Bible, Apostle Paul exemplifies self-sufficiency in varied circumstances. Self-sufficiency is beneficial for divine life. Number 5, governing the commons. Elena Ostron's book, Governing the Commons, explores sustainable management of common resources. The text discusses challenges arising from individual profit-maximizing actions in resource management. Number 6, price paradox. Price paradox means self-choosing routes on a network can reduce overall efficiency. Number 7, Ringelmann effect. Ringelmann effect means group member contributions decrease with the group size increase. Number 8, public lands and public goods. This is the comparison of public lands and public goods. Number 9, previous studies. Michael J. Boyle wrote an essay called "What is the Tragedy of the Commons in Economics?" Chapter 3, 10 examples of the tragedy of the commons. Number 1, pasture communization. The concept of pasture communization describes how common pastures turn into wilderness due to individual interest. Hardin's Shepherd game illustrates the negative effects of communal pastures. Number 2, public facilities. Rest facilities toilet paper consumption is faster due to being a public good. Depletion results in inability to realize public goods or low-quality alternatives. Number 3, free ride. Free ride means the supply decreases when beneficiaries don't pay. Swiss economist Ferris' experiment showed decline in contributions due to free riders. Number 4, Easter Island. Native Easter Islanders exploited wood and environment for profit. Excessive exploitation resulted in island being called the island of the dead. Number 5, environmental pollution. Number 6, reckless fishing of the sea. Number 7, overdevelopment. Forest-based destruction from illegal logging, wildfires, and overdevelopment. Severe effects on communities and the nature environment result from this destruction. Number 8, France Revolution status system. The status system in France before the revolution created a stark division among the population, leading to stark inequalities and widespread discontent. Thus, the poorer people, the more tax they are paying. Number 9, coffee consumption. The overconsumption of coffee has led to the disappearance of habitats for 60% of plant species, including Arabica coffee. Number 10, fast fashion. Burberry's overproduction in 2018 led to unsold products. Burberry chose to burn unsold items. This action resulted in a loss of about $37.8 million. Chapter 4, for ways to solve 10 problems of the tragedy of the commons. Number 1, privatizing. Public land divided into private property allows the autonomy. Individual management prevents deflation. The root cause is the accessibility of public goods in the tragedy of public land. Number 2, making legislation. Privatization focused individuals, legislation centered on regulation. It involves direct intervention by the organizations like the government to restrict or regulate public goods. Number 3, creating rules. Externalities arise when economic activities impact third parties with unaccounted benefits or costs. Individual agents focus on private costs and benefits, neglecting social costs, which leads to inefficient resource allocation. Number 4, a self-sufficient life. Approaching self-sufficiency with an Asian thinking means enduring mild discomfort versus energy conservation. Chapter 5, conclusion. I first examined the theory of the tragedy of the commons, 10 examples, solutions, and further delved into the difference between public land and public goods. I expect that if we solve these tragedies, we will be able to achieve sustainable development for future generations. And reference. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Thank you for your presentation. The fever is heating up. Next, the fourth presenter is Kim Tae-hee, a student of Ihwa Girls Foreign Language High School. This presentation will be shown in the video.
Hello, I am Kim Tae-hee, a student of Ihwa Foreign Language High School. I will give a presentation on case law. First, the table of contents is as follows: introduction, theoretical background, body, conclusion, references. Chapter 1, Introduction. Fish can only grow 5 to 8 cm when placed in a small fish tank. However, it can grow up to 15 to 25 cm when placed in a large aquarium or pond. What's more surprising is that it can grow up to 19 to 120 cm when placed in river water. It is called the Coe's law. Chapter 2, Theoretical Background. Number 1, the Coe's law. It is a fascinating fish that grows into a minnow when placed in a fish tank and becomes a big fish when placed in river water. It is called the Coe's law. Number 2, what does koi stand for? Sometimes referred to as a living gem, the fish has become a famous symbol of beauty, love, and prosperity all over the world. Number 3, Chinese koi fish waterfall legend. Legend has it that long ago, there were many golden carp in the Yellow River in China. This waterfall is known as the Dragon's Gate in Hunan Province. In Chinese culture, the golden dragon is the ultimate symbol of strength and power. This is also why the waterfall is known as the Dragon Gate through this popular fable. Number 4, example, Yu Jae-seok. In the past, Yu Jae-seok sang a song with the lyric as you say it on air. I think life is a series of choices, and you live with your own choices. Your life is up to you. Examples, MG. Be ambitious, young man. A high-flying bird looks far away. Generations MG must break down fences created by older generations and build new ones. Examples: Bill Gates. Let's keep in mind Bill Gates saying, "It's not my fault to be born improperly, but it's my fault to die improperly." Example: Herman Hesse. You can only make decisions with self-confidence if you believe in yourself. Herman Hesse said, "A bird comes out of an egg. The egg is a word." Number 5. Previous research. I referenced 3 previous studies. The third was written by Anna Skill. It is about Alexander the Great's conquest of the world. Chapter 3. Body. Number 1. Abraham's journey in the Bible. Genesis chapter 12 depicts the Abrahamic people's long journey. Abraham moved from there to the mountainous region, west of Bethel and east of Ai. Then he left and arrived at Negev. Number 2. 맹모삼천지교, 3 moves of Menka's mother. Menka's mother was very interested in her son's education. But the first place Menka lived was near the cemetery. The second place to move was near the market. Then he moved near a writing room. It is said that Menka not only played by imitating learning to write, but also learned from the behavior of the children of each school this time. Number 3. Daniel's impact on Babylonian Empire. Daniel received elite training in Babylon, the world most powerful at the time. He studied astrology, animal gene research, and clean lines in the subject he was studying. Number 4. Alexander the Great's world domination. Alexander the Great said, "There is no enemy that has never won, no city has never surrounded, and no country has not ruled." He was always full of confidence and brave without showing any fear of death. Number 5. Other case application. To raise a larger koi, you have to give the fish a bigger, deeper pond. Investors must look for koi ponds that are very large in their relationship with existing market participants. Chapter 4. Conclusion. The participants were organized while studying Koi's law. First, Bill Gates. Second, in the Bible, Abraham's journey, Daniel in Babylon. Third, in the education of Menka's 맹모삼천지교. Then, Alexander the Great's world domination. Chapter 5. Reference. Thank you for listening to my speech.
Thank you so much. And the next presenter is Jung Yubin, Purdue University Northwest students in America. Please listen carefully and give her a big hand.
Hello everyone, I'm Yubin Zhang, a student at Purdue University Northwest. I will be presenting a study of creative perspectives through the ant and the peacock analysis. Table of contents. Chapter 1, Introduction. First, I will explore the Helena Kearney's The Ant and the Peacocks and Dawkins' theories of the selfish genes, including highlights from the sexual selection and natural selection. And also, I will briefly introduce the theory of evolutionists and creationists. Chapter 2, Theoretical Background. Number 1, Assessment of Helena Kearney's The Ant and the Peacocks. In Helena Kearney's The Ant and the Peacock, ants symbolize altruism, and peacocks symbolize natural selection. Number 2, the selfish gene by Richard Dawkins. A, initial reaction about the selfish gene. B, is human nature. In this book, he argued that there is two types of the human nature. First one is humans are social animals, and second one is the human are vehicle for transporting genes. C, key concept, William Hamilton said, natural selection operates at the gene level, not the individual level. And also, genes are the fundamental unit of selection. Chapter 3, main body. Overview, both Darwin and Wallace agree that species evolve and adaptive through the natural selection. Number 1, Darwin and Wallace theoretical debate. A, Darwin's theory is a sexual selection. Darwin believes the natural selection cannot explain the peacock's ornamental tail. According to The Origin of the Species by Darwin, he says sexual selection can be categorized in two types. One type is intersexual selection, and second type is intrasexual selection. And these are the strategies that male and female use to successfully reproduce. And Darwin claims two animals as an example of sexual selection. Number 1 is Barbarossa. Females possess fangs on their lower jaw, but these rarely protrude. Males have additional pair of fangs on their both lower and upper jaw. Number 2 is male long-tailed widowbirds. Female preference for long tail may be genetically inherited, driving the evolution of exaggerated sexual dimorphism. And B, Wallace's theory is natural selection. He argued that natural selection alone could explain gender-based color differences. Number 2, misgenetic view in society. Darwin and Wallace's perspective on gender differences benefits view on altruistic behavior. Number 3, theory of altruism. A, Darwin's perspective. B, Wallace's perspective. Darwin saw human motility as an adaptive trait shaped by natural selection. However, Wallace says that human motility could not be explained by the natural selection. C, William Donald Hamilton theories. Worker ants' altruistic behaviors benefits their genetic relative more than themselves. D, Clinton Richard Dawkins theory. Unlike humans, ants have a unique haplodiaphoretic system where male ants receive half their genes from their mother, not their from father. Number 4, debate between evolutionists and creationists. A, theory of evolution. It speculates that mutation occurs after reproductive isolation between human and chimpanzees. B, theory of creationists. They said similar DNA between human and animals attribute to a common designer. Number 5, claims of evolutionists and creationists. A, evolutionist view. They said human and chimpanzees are 96 similar, suggesting a common ancestor from 50 million years ago. And B, creationist view. They said thousands of differences exist between human and chimpanzees. Even small genetic differences can be factored. Chapter 4, conclusion. Based on the various journals, I have scientifically explored the various theory and also cause of the natural selection and sexual selections based on the Darwin's theory of the evolution. And also, but this is the small part of the study. This is still so much of God's mysterious world to be uncovered and explored in science. Chapter 5, little references. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. I enjoy it. Then it's the 6th right. The presenter is Lian, a student of Pixel University. This presentation will be shown in the video.
Hi, this is Lien, and I will present about the study of human personality in psychology through family trees. I will present in the order of introduction, theoretical background, body, conclusion, and reference. Moreover, and Monica McGoldrick and Randy Johnson developed and popularized xenograms in clinical settings. Xenograms are currently widely used in medicine, psychiatry, psychology, social welfare, genetic research, and education. I will present a total of 3 characters. Theoretical background. First, the life of Sigmund. Freud has strong questions and curiosity about the strange and complex relationships between humans from an early age. Second, the process of libido development. Libido is a basic concept of psychoanalysis and refers to mental energy from it, especially sexual energy. Infantile sexuality was criticized as a very immoral argument at the time. Third, the theory of offsetting the Oedipus complex. He realized that young children were curious about adult sex lives and perceived sexual stimulation as tempting. Fourth, why Jung can't offset Freud's claim the Oedipus theory at all? Jung's mother Emily is often depressed, has always moved to her room, and the child has not been cared for. Fifth, the life of Karin. Jung experienced the supernatural phenomena where objects such as tables and knives broke down for no reason. Sixth, collective unconsciousness. Collective unconsciousness is common to everyone, and it is the basis of what was called the empathy of all things in ancient time. Seventh, the life of Clinton. He was raised by an impoverished mother and a violent stepfather. Next is previous study. I have explored 5 previous studies. It is a study by Monica McGoldrick titled Xenograms, Assessment and Intervention. Contents is Sigmund Freud, the Kennedys, Bill Clinton, and Thomas Jefferson, to name a few. Freud's family tree is as follows. Sigmund Freud's father, Jacob Freud, has 3 wives. Here's why Freud is interested in sex. First, Freud had an inappropriate relationship with his wife's sister. Secondly, there was an affair between Freud's son Martin and his sister-in-law. Third, there was an affair with Freud's daughter Anna. Carl Jung's family tree is as follows. Introduction to the mental strengths of one's mother's family. Jung's maternal grandfather, Samuel Fleischberg, was a pastor and believed in surreal phenomena. Augustus Faber, the maternal grandmother who remarried afterward, was easily emotional, had a faith attack, and developed sleepwalking symptoms. Jung's mother, Emilie Fleischberg, was brought in a fantastic and transcendent state of mind by her parents. In other words, fantastic things have become commonplace. Next is the history of his Christian family. As a result, Jung became interested in soul-related things, and eventually Jung's interest in collective consciousness, a word no one had ever thought of, increased. The development process of Jung's collective unconsciousness. First, Jung's childhood and school days were psychologically inhospitable. Second, Jung later remembered his father's anger, his mother's appearance of melting to herself. Third, when Jung suffered from a suffocating disease around the age of 7, a difficult period of mental illness began. Fourth, Jung was concerned about religious issues around the age of 13. Fifth, after that, Jung fell into the philosophy of Kant, Schopenhauer, and God. It's about the conjunction with Indian philosophy. Principle of synchronicity. The theory of synchronicity is said to refer to different people living the same life. Next is a family tree of Clinton. Clinton's relationship with women has often surfaced since the 1992 presidential election. That's the conclusion. Xenogram is currently widely used in medicine, psychiatry, psychology, social welfare, genetic research, and education. This paper traced the family trees of Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung to analyze the formation of the personality theory of psychology decline. It's a reference. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Thank you. Next presenter is Yang Yizhi, Taiwan Foreign Language High School student. She will present 2 years in a row. Please give a round of applause.
Hello everyone, my name is Yang Yizhi. Today, I will introduce behavioral learning theory. Chapter 1, Introduction. Behavioral learning theory was a mainstream of learning psychology in the early 20th century. Its central idea is that human learning is primarily influenced by environmental factors, meaning that learning involves the formation of associations between stimulus and response. Chapter 2, Theoretical background. Number 1, applications of behavioral learning theory. Behavioral learning theory is everywhere in our lives. In other words, you'd be hard-pressed to find an aspect of modern society where it doesn't apply. Chapter 3, Genealogy of behavioral learning psychology. First, let's talk about Ivan Pavlov's behavioral learning psychology. Ivan Pavlov did some famous experiments with dogs and salivation. He would give dogs meat pellets and watch them salivate. After doing this a few times, he noticed that the dogs would start to salivate even before they saw or smelled the meat. Next, we have John Watson's behavioral learning psychology. Watson is known as the founder of the behaviorist school of psychology. He believed that the study of consciousness should be done through introspection. And Watson believed that psychologists should focus on human behavior and how it changes with experience. He didn't think humans are born with set mental abilities or temperament. Instead, he saw personality as a bunch of conditioned reflexes and thought human emotions come from both heredity and experience. There's Thorndike's behavioral learning psychology. His learning psychology began by showing how sensory impressions and impulses to act are linked. He called the union of the two straight knot, which he called association. Lastly, let's talk about Skinner's behavioral learning psychology. Skinner is famous for Skinner box. He did early animal experiments with these small bugs. Through these experiments, he came up with the idea that responses that are rewarded are more likely to happen again. And Skinner's ideas have been used a lot in teaching. He wrote a lot about how his theories can help solve educational problems. Chapter 4, Behavior Reason as an Education Theory. I've got two different theories to mention. First, it's important to find out what truly reinforces each learners. What works for one student might not work for another. Second, behavior changes based on how an action is followed by consequence. Therefore, learners are much more likely to change their behavior if they know exactly what the outcome will be. Chapter 5, Conclusion. So, we've seen while exploring behavioral learning theory, the key takeaway is that we all want to succeed, sometimes by any means necessary. That's why it's risky to say you know how to manipulate people. This idea led to the development of cognitive and humanistic learning theories. Here's references. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Now, this is the last presentation of the first part. The presenter is Ryla May Chamos, a graduate student at Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. She's from Philippines. Let's give her a big hand.
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 필리핀에서 온 라일라라고 합니다. 저는 한국외국어대학교에서 석사 과정을 밟고 있으며 이번에 들리즈의 충동 이미지로 보는 영화 쇼퍼홀릭이라는 주제로 발표하게 되었습니다. 참고로 제 발표 언어는 한국어입니다. 발표의 흐름은 서론, 본론, 그리고 결론 순으로 진행하겠습니다. 바로 서론으로 들어가겠습니다. 할리우드 영화 쇼퍼홀릭이 시청자에게 어떤 메시지를 전달하고 있는지 탐구하는 것이 연구 목적이며 이것을 들리즈의 충동 이미지를 적용하여 분석하는 것이 연구 방법입니다. 여기서 충동 이미지란 프랑스의 철학자 질 들리즈가 만든 영화 이미지 기호 중 하나로 자연주의라는 특징을 가지고 있습니다. 여기서 자연주의란 신 혹은 설계자의 존재를 부정하고 자연 세계 모든 것을 자연과학으로 설명하는 겁니다. 이러한 충동 이미지는 총 3가지의 기호로 나눠지는데 그것이 중어, 물씬, 그리고 근원적 세계입니다. 중어란 영화 속 인물의 본능 혹은 순수한 충동을 의미하며 이러한 중어를 일으키는 대상을 물신이라고 합니다. 이 물신이 사람이 될 수 있고 물건이 될 수 있습니다. 그리고 근원적 세계는 영화 속 인물의 동물적 충동을 일으키게 만드는 공간입니다. 충동 이미지는 환경이나 공간에 압도당한 인물이 등장하는 영화를 분석하는 선행 연구가 많이 진행되었습니다. 그럼 본론으로 들어가겠습니다. 영화 쇼퍼홀릭은 쇼핑 중독에 빠진 주인공이 우정과 사랑의 힘으로 충동 구매하는 습관을 극복하는 내용을 담고 있습니다. 저는 이 쇼퍼홀릭을 충동 이미지의 3가지의 기호로 대입했습니다. 대입해보니 동물적 충동으로 명품을 계속 소비하는 주인공의 충동 구매가 중어가 되고 주인공의 쇼핑 중독을 악화시키는 신용카드와 초록 스카프가 물신이 됩니다. 그리고 명품이 존재하는 모든 공간, 즉 명품 세계가 근원적 세계가 됩니다. 이렇게 명품이라는 근원적 세계, 쇼핑 중독이라는 중어, 신용카드와 초록 스카프라는 물신을 한꺼번에 보니 그 원인이 다 주인공의 결핍 때문에 발생했습니다. 여기서 주인공의 결핍이란 비싸고 반짝이는 신발을 한 번도 얻지 못한 어린 시절 때문에 명품을 향한 주인공의 욕망이 현재 쇼핑 중독으로 이어졌습니다. 전 이것을 보고 소비 지상주의를 떠올랐습니다. 여기서 소비 지상주의란 물질적 만족을 최고로 여기는 사고방식입니다. 이렇게 명품 세계, 충동구매, 신용카드와 초록 스카프 그리고 주인공의 결핍을 한꺼번에 보아하니 저는 이 쇼퍼홀릭을 소비 지상주의를 비판하는 영화로 보았습니다. 특히 주인공의 마지막 대사에서 소비 지상주의에 관한 핵심적인 메시지를 볼 수 있습니다. 이게 바로 그 주인공의 마지막 대사입니다. 나는 개선된 쇼퍼홀릭이다. 쇼핑 이외의 시간이 있다는 것이 환상적이다. 그리고 신용카드와의 관계 대신 나를 거절하지 않고 사랑하는 사람과의 관계를 얻었다. 전 이 대사를 이런 방식으로 해석했습니다. 현재 당신의 우선순위가 무엇인가요? 신용카드가 현재 영순위인가요? 주인공의 나레이션을 시청자의 개인적 관계와 우선순위가 진정으로 본인의 성장과 관련이 있는지 되새기게 합니다. 그럼 마지막으로 결론으로 들어가겠습니다. 충동 구매라는 중어, 신용카드와 초록 스카프라는 물씬, 그리고 명품 세계라는 근원적 세계, 이렇게 3가지가 딱딱 들어맞아서 저는 쇼퍼홀릭이 충동 이미지 영화로 보았습니다. 그리고 분석하는 과정에서 이 쇼퍼홀릭이 소비 지상주의를 비판하는 영화로 보았습니다. 여기까지가 제 발표입니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much. Now it's half past. Are you interested? Then let's start second part. The first presenters are Kim Ye-bum and Han Kyu-sik, all nations academy students. Please give them an applause.
Hello everyone, my name is Kim Ye-bum.
My name is Han Kyu-sik.
This time we are talking about a study on analyzing what causes fish to die in pond. Content. Chapter 1, Introduction. Fish continue to die in pond at our school. 50 animals introduced in March 2023 died from unknown causes. New fish reintroduced in June also died. In July, we started looking for the causes.
Chapter 2, Theoretical Background. Number 1. A brief history of goldfish. Goldfish began to be raised during the Tang Dynasty and became completely domesticated in the early Song Dynasty.
Number 2. Fish mortality cases in academia. A. Inadequate living conditions. B. Deterioration of water quality. C. Excess feeding. D. Fight against other fish.
E. Problem with the individual. F. Stress.
G. Accident or wound. H. Disease. I. Old age.
J. Tank size. K. Inadequate cohabitation fish. L. Mating.
Number 3. Previous research. Order 1. Title. Why do goldfish die and how to keep them alive? Description. The fish, the tank, the environment, and the symptoms they exhibit before they died were investigated. Number 4. The summary of previous studies.
Number 5. Disease and parasite. A. Itch. A disease caused by the itch parasite layer. B. Flukes. Flukes stick to the fish and make her goldfish weak and sick.
C. Swim bladder disease. A disease affects damage or infection of this organ. Number 6. Prevention method. A. Finding appropriate species. B. Finding a suitable tank. C. Complete water changes. D. Taking the fish to the vet.
Number 7. Lab conditions and timeline. To equalize the environmental conditions divided upon in half. CCTV is also installed. 30 currently living fish are divided into experimental groups.
Number 8. pH test method. Number 9. NH3, NH4 test method. Number 10. NO3 test method.
Number 11. Research diary. Order 4. 2 dead bodies found. Order 6. Put 20 fish in. Order 14. Laboratory sent. Order 16. 서울 National University Laboratory carcass out of sea.
Chapter 3. Main body. Number 1. Autopsy. On September 18, Professor Kim Sang-hwa provided okay comments. As a result, the exact cause of death could not be determined. However, but there are few explanations. A. Parasite. B. Water return issue. C. Weekend condition. D. Chlorine.
Number 2. The result of hypothesis validation. Order 2. Death due to disease. Order 3. External predators. Order 6. pH changes caused by the acid rain. Order 10. Water pollution.
Chapter 4. Conclusion. To find out why the fish in the squid pond will die, we developed 10 hypotheses. In the end, we turned to a laboratory at Seoul National University for the details. There are 2 key findings. A. Parasite. B. Weekend condition. Chapter 5. References.
Chapter 6. Appendix. Separating the population group from the experimental group. A. The experimental group. B. The population group. Dead fish. Newborn baby fish. Pond checking. Discussing with professor.
Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. Then the next presenter is Park Chang-hyun, a student of Jeonju University. He comes from Jeonju today. Please give him a big hand as he comes from afar.
Hello, my name is Park Changhyun. I'm going to present my paper, A Study on the Theories and Application of Behavioral Economics. Table of Contents. Chapter 1, Introduction. Introduction describes the classical economics model and briefly describes the behavioral economics model. Chapter 2, Theoretical Background. The human model of behavioral economics is described in more detail and previous research for this paper is described. Chapter 3, Body. I explain the concept of nudges and heuristics, and nudge-based choice design, behavior economics theory, and its application in daily life. The paper was then organized with Chapter 4, Conclusion, and Chapter 5, Reference. Chapter 1, Introduction. Adam Smith's rational lecture argued based on Bernard Mandeville's Homo economicus model assumed that rational lecture operate only by reason. Behavior economics, however, argues that choice that considered rational may include an element of emotion. Chapter 2, Theoretical Background. You can lose 10% of your asset, and at least 90% of your asset can be preserved. What could make you more nervous? If you see a difference in the tension between the two questions, then you are already feeling behavioral economics. Previous research, Lee Jae-min, Peng Moon-gum, Johnson explained how important heuristics in a person's life. And Lee Sejong, Jeon Sang-min studied how can judges change people's life. Chapter 3, Body. Heuristics argued by Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman is explained how important people can change anything. And nudges concept of that appeared in the book Nudge by economists Richard Taylor and legal expert Cass Sunstein. This can be expressed by pushing gently. 6 principles of nudge. A. Incentive. B. Understanding mapping. C. Default wrappers. D. Give back. E. Expert error. F. Constructional complex choices. Well-known behavioral economists. A. Loose aversion theory. This quantifies emotions people's mind about gain or losses. B. Anchoring effect. When someone anchors a ship called a person, it could be settled on human thought. C. Put in the door. Once you succeed opening the door, it is easy for people to get in there and sell things. D. Mental accounting matters. $10 and a $10 movie ticket are the same thing from a numerical standpoint. But if an account psychologically classified as per ticket, the user will feel uncomfortable from additional money. E. Hyperbolic discount. It is a behavioral economics theory that thinks that even assets with greater utility in the future would be a loss if they were not utilized in the present. Application of behavioral economics. A. Individual debtor rehabilitation procedure. The individual debtor rehabilitation procedure adjusts the level of debt that is difficult to repay to a level that the individual can afford. B. National pension system. The government has made it mandatory to participate in this system and provide various ways of tax credit, and they also created an application to help people identify their retirement asset and successfully their benefits. C. Special discount sales strategy. If the mall anchors people's mind to number 33,000, their thoughts will settle on $33,000. And when they see $22,000, if they are losing about $11,000, that is what they want. D. Apple's iPhone. Apple's iPhone advertisements are an example of meta accounting to get a head start. They put a lot into one unit, the iPhone, including sense of belonging, love, and trends. As a result, the iPhone became gradually popular. Also, they made it possible to distinguish between iPhones and non-iPhones in the iMessage. Chapter 4, Conclusion. Behavior economics is not difficult. It is everywhere around you, and you are always living within behavior economics. Research on behavior economics cannot be stopped because people change with the times. That constant research will ultimately lead to better human life. Reference like this. Thank you for your listening my present.
Thank you for your presentation. The next third presenter is Park Chang-young, Myeongdok Foreign Language High School student. Please give him a big hand.
Hello everyone, my name is Park Chang-hyun, Myeongdok Foreign Language High School student. Today I'm going to tell you an empirical case study on the butterfly effect, analyzing the causes of the increase in black slaves in South America due to the silver standard system, 임진월, in South America. Content. Chapter 1, Introduction. This paper examines 임진월 that took place between 1592 and 1598 when Japan invaded Joseon. Chapter 2, Theoretical Background. Number 1, butterfly effect. Butterfly effect is an example of how the flapping of butterfly wings in Brazil can affect the atmosphere and amplify over time, resulting in huge consequences such as tornadoes in the United States after a long period of time. Number 2, the Imjin War. The Imjin War was a war that began in 1592 when Japan invaded Joseon. Number 3, the Age of Discovery, European exploration. In the 100 years from the mid-16th to the mid-16th centuries, a combination of circumstances stimulated men to seek a new route, and it was new routes rather than new lands that filled the minds of kings, commoners, scholars, and sailors. Number 4, the silver standard system. Silver standard system is a monetary system in which the standard economic unit of account is a fixed weight of silver. Silver was far more widely used than gold as a monetary standard throughout the world. Number 5, African-American slavery in South America. Slavery in Latin America was an economic and social institution that existed in pre-colonial Latin America until its illegal abolition in the newly independent states in the 19th century. Number 6, prior study. Prior study is like this. Chapter 3, body. Number 1, the age of discovery. From the 15th to the 16th century, new routes marking the discoveries of new content took place, led by emerging Western European countries such as Spain and Portugal. Number 2, the age of silver. A silver standard system. It is one of the exchange rate systems jointly adopted by several countries using different currencies during the age of discovery. B. Why was silver important at the time in the age of discovery? Domestic currency plays a role in the buying and selling of goods and services. C. Where is silver produced? Silver came from Japan, but silver was also introduced via Western countries such as Portugal and Netherlands. Therefore, if the supply and demand of silver is not smooth, it will cause economic turmoil at home and abroad. D. Case. E. Payment method. F. Silver smelting technology. G. Trade in Spain. Spain profited greatly from its silver trade with China. H. The fusion of Joseon. I. A frog in the world, Joseon. During the reign of King Jeongjong, the people stopped producing silver because they were extravagant. J. How was the Joseon silver smelting method transferred to Japan? K. Source of military funds that caused the Imjin War, Joseon silver smelting method. Number 3. Growth in Japan. Japan, which adopted the silver smelting method, became a rich country, producing a third of the world's silver. Number 4, the Imjin War was a war for silver. Number 5, frequent Japanese inventions before the Imjin War were to steal Joseon smelting technology and silver mines. Number 6, South America, A. Development of silver mines. B. Silver mines of the town and Potosi in Bolivia. 7, applying the butterfly effect. B. After the Imjin War, Japanese exports decrease. Next, Ming and Western trade currencies decrease. Next, South America overproduces. Next, need for more African slaves. Chapter 4, conclusion. This led to the importation of Africans to South American as slaves to provide labor. This small event leading to larger ones are known as the butterfly effect. Chapter 5, references. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed your speech. Next, the fourth presenter is Jeong Myeon-eun, a student of Daewon Foreign Language High School. Please give her an applause.
Hello everyone, my name is Jeong Myeon-eun, a student from Daewon Foreign Language High School. The topic of my paper is the difference between Eastern and Western aesthetics in literary works and the translator's influence on readers' understanding. There is the table of contents. First, introduction. This paper analyzes the influence of the differences between Chinese and Western cultures on literary translation from many aspects, aiming to improve the quality and level of literary translation on the basis of mastering Chinese and Western language habits and cultural characteristics. Two, theoretical background. Confucius and Analects, Aristotle and Poetics. From the Soil by Fei Xiaotong, Wencheng by Yu Hua are all mentioned in this paper. Similarities and difference between Eastern and Western philosophy. Concepts like the absolute, enlightenment, and the transcendent are central to Eastern philosophies such as Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism, mirroring Western notions of the absolute and the forms. There are 3 previous studies mentioned in this paper. 3. Main analysis. A. Differences of the values. Number 1, Chinese. References to the book From the Soil. It said that China is a collectivist society. Number 2, Western. God is also an individual who meets and socializes with humans personally and ends up in heaven. Due to different histories and roots, there are great differences between Eastern and Western cultures. As for the Western, Achilles, the hero in the Trojan War, did not want to participate in the war from his own reasons at the beginning. And based on his idea, it can be said that this is a typical embodiment of individualist values. As for the Eastern, in the novel Wencheng written by Yu Hua, in order to resist the attack of bandits and protect the villagers from the village, strong people voluntarily signed up to take part in the People's Army Corps. They sacrificed their lives to save the villagers. B. Differences of customs and cultures. As for the different meaning of the color, in traditional Chinese culture, red is not only a color but also contains the meaning of happiness. Western countries are more inclined to the former, so the number of people in Western countries like blue is the largest. C. Differences of the way of thinking. The way of thinking reflected in translation. Effective strategies of translation under the background of cultural differences between the East and the West. Under the background of economic globalization, the cultural exchanges between China and the West are becoming more and more frequent. Through this mind map, we could see the 5 strategies of translation. First, the absolute fidelity of the original text to the naturalization in practical application as a strong stipulation. Secondly, the condition of unfaithfulness is also descriptive. Domestication and foreignization. The concept of domestication and foreignization are not absolutely independent. Therefore, domestication is commonly used to replace and reduce translation. Foreignization is commonly used in pronunciation translation, which can better translate literary works and promote the diversification of translation forms. Translation both under domestication and foreignization. It can be seen that no literary work can be completely by only one way of translation. Chapter 4, Conclusion. We could fully understand the cultural differences, value differences, custom differences, and the way of thinking differences between the East and the West. Translators must have a deep understanding of the culture of the country where the original author lives in order to complete a more accurate and authentic translation. Chapter 5, References. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your presentation, my senior. Next is the 5th presentation. The presenter is Kim Hyung-woo, Valdosta State University student in USA. Please give him a big hand.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming today. My name is Hyun-woo Kim, a student from Valdosta State University. The topic of study I will show you guys is Alfred Adler's theory analysis. This is contents. Chapter 1, Introduction. First of all, Alfred Adler is a philosopher who stressed the individual in a social context and compensation for inferiorities. Chapter 2, Theoretical background. Number 1, Alfred Adler. He was born in Austria in 1870. He went through lots of inferiorities in his childhood, such as trouble with health and study. Number 2, sense of inferiority. A, inferiority. The inferiority is a feeling that comes from the idea you are worse than others. Adler found out that all humans have an inferiority and also have a will to overcome their weakness. This is how inferiority is driving force behind humans. B, compensation for weakness. Even from the infancy, all humans undergo inferiorities. This experience allows infants to compensate for their inferiorities and develop their emotions to follow the rewards that follow. C, excessive compensation. When the inferiority complex becomes too intense, the child feels like they cannot deal with it, that this ends up in an overcompensated state where the child's concentration on achieving the goal is exaggerated and pathologically altered. The inferiority complex. There are two types of inferiority complex. The primary inferiority complex is a normal feeling in children and provides an incentive for the children to develop. A supremacy complex. Supremacy complex occurs when the human has a desire to prove that he is superior to what he really is. F. Organ inferiority complex. This inferiority complex is related to the individual's body, such as appearance or physical health. G. Childhood neglect. This inferiority is caused by the lack of parents' love. The children with this inferiority live their lives without the confidence to be loved. H. Overprotection. When the parents raise their children too dependently, the child feels like they cannot solve any problems by themselves. Number 3, the pursuit of superiorities. There are two directions when a person seeks superiorities, the positive and negative. The positive direction pursues other people's and social welfare beyond the individuals. However, the negative direction pursues only individuals. Number 4, previous studies. These are the study my study is based on. Chapter 3, main body. Number 1, lifestyle. Alfred Adler divided lifestyle into 4 categories: social useful type, dominant type, parasitic type, and avoiding type. Number 2, personality differences according to birth order. He also divides by the birth order. He asserts that the birth order has a significant impact on the child's personality. Number 3, teleological theory. Teleological theory is all human actions are a means to achieve expectation and purpose for the future, not causes and consequences. The purpose of life should be useful lifestyle that can contribute to society. Number 4, the creative self. The creative self means that all humans are beings who make themselves. Adler says that the creative power is more powerful than the environment in determining how people live. Number 5, Adler's psychology case study. I tried to find out the cases in which Adler's theory was applied, first in the literature: Catcher in the Rye, Shrek, Deadpool, and The Great Gatsby. In these literatures, the main characters have an inferiority complex, and the literature shows how characters accept their inferiority complex and how to overcome them. Next, in person: Helen Keller, Maya Angelou, Oprah Winfrey, and Nick Ritchie. All these people are the ones who have made great achievement in their respective fields. All of them have an inferiority complex, but they didn't just overcome it, but even they saved it with their strengths. Next, in a book, The Courage to be Disliked. It is an Adler's philosophical book based on Plato's dialogue. The content of the book is about creative self and teleological theory I mentioned before. Number 6, comparison with Sigmund Freud and Alfred Adler. I compared Alfred Adler to other famous philosopher Sigmund Freud. The biggest difference between them is Freud argues that all humans are objective and they are passive to the nature. However, Adler asserts that all humans are subjective and they are creative self. Chapter 4, conclusion. This study summarized Adler's basic theories and find and introduced real proponent works that overcame the inferiority complex according to this theory. This is a reference. Thank you for your guys' attention.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. Now there's 3 left. The next is Choi Ha-bin, a student of Purdue University, Northwest in USA. Please listen carefully. Let's hear an applause.
Hello, I'm Ha-min Choi from Purdue University Northwest. Today, I'm gonna introduce current status of cyber warfare. Here's my content. Chapter 1, Introduction. Number 1, what is cyber warfare? Before we dive into the topic, let's think about a question. What images come to your mind when you think about wars like World War II or Korean War? I think it's very tragic. Astonishingly, in our modern society, we insensibly face a new type of war, cyber warfare. Number 2, movement of battlefield. Unlike traditional war, cyber warfare doesn't directly harm people. Most of our infrastructures are built in cyberspace, and cyber warfare aims to disrupt these social pillars, causing massive chaos. Chapter 2, theoretical background. Number 1, the Russo-Ukrainian War ostensibly occurred due to Ukraine's accession to NATO. Number 2, with the generalization of the internet, hackers began using their skills for their political ideologies, becoming hacktivists. Hacktivism combines hacker and activism. Number 3, previous research. Here's the 5 previous studies involved in my paper. Chapter 3, body. Number 1, status of cyber warfare in different countries. A, the US. The Department of Defense in 2023 emphasized the cyber warfare as a priority. B, China is well known for its malicious hackers. C, Russia uses cyber warfare strategically in various wars. D, North Korea made headlines with the WannaCry ransomware. E, South Korea focuses more on their defensive systems. Number 2, cyber warfare in the Russo-Ukrainian War. A, Russia. Russia has launched numerous attacks on Ukraine. For instance, the Code Blizzard malware aimed to destroy Ukraine's internet network. And Russia also attacked countries supporting Ukraine with over 60 attacks in 2 years. B, Ukraine. Ukraine called for global volunteers to form the IT army. One significant action was attacking Russia's Chesny Znak system, causing financial confusion. C, hacktivist groups also participated, supporting either side based on their ideologies. Anonymous supported Ukraine, and Conti, a ransomware group, is closely linked with the Russian government. D, companies responded to the conflict as well. Many different companies took actions based on their situations. Number 3, the importance of information warfare. Information warfare, a part of cyber warfare, is crucial. Open source intelligence and the internet enables rapid information transmission, but it makes manipulating the public through false news and propaganda more impactful. Chapter 4, conclusion. We have examined current status of cyber warfare in different countries and the dynamics of the Russo-Ukrainian War. Cyber warfare is a global conflict, and the Russo-Ukrainian War exemplifies this. We, from individuals to nations, should accomplish the improvement of defensive systems. Chapter 5, reference. Here's the documents I referred to. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Then let's start the seventh presentation. The presenter is Zhou Wenzhong, Sungkyunkwan University student. Please give him a big hand.
Hello everyone, I'm Zhou Wenzhong, the student of Sungkyunkwan University of Economics. Today I gonna introduce my essay of analysis and summary of the current development of new energy vehicles in China. Starting in the 1990s, Chinese journey in the new energy vehicles sectors has positioned it as the global leader in the production and market size, transforming it into the hub of innovation and sustainable development. Supported by forward-thinking policies, Chinese new energy vehicle industry has witnessed explosive growth, diversifying beyond traditional automakers to include internet and energy companies, thus reshaping the competitive landscape and alignment with global trend towards. Underscored by international agreements like the Paris Agreement, China has emerged as a pioneering force in this area, in the new energy vehicles market. So after more than 30 years of development, China's new energy vehicles industry has been world's largest in the terms of production and sales values globally. With the aid of new energy, Chinese brand cars finally broke through a 40% market shares domestic in China at 2021. So first, let's review the policies that has accompanied the development of new energy vehicles. In 2009, new energy vehicles began to appear in large number in China's public transport. And by 2013, new energy vehicle started to become available for private car owners. In 2016, number of energy vehicles reached 1 million, and in 2018, annual sales exceeded 1 million vehicles. By 2019, many cities had fully transitioned their public transport fleets to the new energy vehicles. And as the February 2022, cumulative production of new energy vehicles in China surpassed 10 million units. This introduction highlights how the Chinese government has facilitated participation from companies across various sectors in the field of new energy vehicles through policy and initiatives. Following the market expansion, as government gradually phased out its policies, allowing free market competition. So checking this graph, it's like bit by bit taper off, right? So subsidies for purchasing new energy vehicles has progressively decreased over time. Ultimately, industry has succeeded in becoming competitive with traditional automobiles, independent of the government support. So I analyze region in China, where the penetration rate of the new energy vehicle is the highest, as well as the area where it's the lowest in my paper. To compare their economics levels, I discovered that the adoption of new energy vehicle is closely linked to the city level development, as well as climate and environmental factor as urban infrastructure continue to develop. I believe that not only in China but around the world, the proportion of new energy vehicle sales will continue to increase. And I hold the optimistic view of prospect of the new energy vehicle for several reasons. First, in an era encouraging carbon neutrality under the Paris Agreement, new energy vehicle offer a practical solution for countries to protect social field resource while helping, it's really helped the vehicles owners save the cost of the oil. And new energy vehicles, they can more easily, it's particularly advantageous for countries like China and such, where the oil is really scarce, right? Second, new energy vehicles can more easily incorporate assisted driving features compared to traditional vehicles, reducing driver fatigue and the likelihood of accidents. Advantage has created new consumer demand and competitive patterns. I believe that as technology advances, the target demographic for the new energy vehicle will continue to be expanded. And I also believe that in the future, the new energy vehicles will continue to bring us changes in our life. We are standing at the forefront of the fourth industry revolution. So we are witnessing history. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you. At last, it's a final presentation today. The presenter is Kwon Alexandra. She's from Uzbekistan and she's a student at Sogon University. Please listen carefully and give her warm applause.
안녕하세요. 저는 우즈베키스탄에서 온 서강대학교 학생 권 알렉산드라입니다. 논문과 PPT를 한글로 작성하였고 발표는 러시아어로 진행하겠습니다. Данная работа была направлена на изучение географических факторов, которые приводят некоторые страны к статусу геополитических жертв. В этой статье мы более подробно рассмотрим такие регионы, как Корейский полуостров и островное государство Куба. Введение. Значение геополитики. Геополитика изучает макроскопическое влияние географической среды на политику, военные действия или экономику страны. Корейский полуостров с его уникальными географическими особенностями богат примерами геополитических событий. Начиная с периода Чосон и вплоть до современности, можно упомянуть ряд важных событий. Куба, являющаяся крупнейшим островом в Карибском бассейне, имеет важное стратегическое значение как с экономической, так и с военной точки зрения. Именно поэтому Куба также стала местом столкновения интересов соседних великих держав. В XIX веке конфликт между Испанией и США вокруг Кубы в итоге перерос в войну, и после победы США Куба перешла под американское владычество. Корейский полуостров. Географическое положение Корейского полуострова имеет важное военно-стратегическое значение. Именно поэтому Корейскую войну нужно рассматривать не внутренним конфликтом, а как итог противостояния между капитализмом и социализмом. Обычно война заканчивается подписанием перемирия или заключением мирного соглашения. Однако на данный момент на Корейском полуострове действует только перемирие. Незавершенность юридического процесса также связана со сложным международно-политическим конфликтом. Поэтому причина, по которой Корейская война до сих пор не завершена, заключается в том, что Корейский полуостров находится на краю Восточной Азии, что автоматически делает его фронтом холодной войны. Страны, получившие выгоды во время Корейской войны. С началом войны США значительно усилили свое военное вооружение, что привело к увеличению ядерного оружия и укреплению их мирового лидерства. Китай также смог укрепить свое международное положение, выступая на равных как соперник США и оказывая влияние на перемирие Корейского полуострова. Тайвань, принимая участие в Корейской войне, смог заполучить доверие и интерес со стороны США, а также, заключив дипломатические отношения с Японией, был признан свободным государством в мировом сообществе. В итоге наибольшую выгоду получила Япония. Во время Корейской войны Япония, выполнявшая роль базы снабжения, смогла восстановиться после поражения во Второй мировой войне, а также получила миллиардную прибыль и признание в мировом обществе. Куба. Ситуация на Кубе усугубилась после того, как Че Гевара и Фидель Кастро возглавили социалистическую революцию. Отношения США обострились, и возник конфликт вокруг военной базы Гуантанамо, что и привело к кубинскому ракетному кризису. Кубинский ракетный кризис был кульминацией времен Холодной войны, когда Советский Союз и США оказались на грани военного столкновения. В начале 1958 года США установили ядерные ракеты «Юпитер» в Италии и Турции, тем самым заполучив возможность нанести удар по Москве. Однако Никита Хрущев обратил внимание на стратегические возможности Кубы и установил там советские ядерные ракеты. Тем самым он смог сбалансировать конкуренцию с ядерными ракетами в Европе. В итоге США отказались от прямой агрессии и согласились на вывод американских ракет с Европы взамен на вывод советских ракет из Кубы. Это событие способствовало заключению первичного договора о нераспространении ядерного оружия. Если после Корейской войны крупные державы сосредоточились на разработке ядерного оружия, то кризис с кубинскими ракетами стал толчком для всего мира, чтобы осознать опасность ядерного оружия. Теории холодной войны. Изначально взгляд мирового сообщества сводился к тому, что ответственность за холодную войну лежит на Советском Союзе. Также сообщество критиковало экспансию и революционные идеи социального государства. Однако мнения модифицированных сторонников считали, что США намеренно вели враждебную политику по отношению к Советскому Союзу, пытаясь истребить их на международной арене и занять лидерскую позицию. Заключение. Анализируя историю только двух стран, можно увидеть, что политические и военные проблемы таких стран-жертв имеют глобальный характер. Следовательно, их проблемы должны рассматриваться как взаимодействие на международной арене, где они играют существенную роль и оказывают влияние на мировое сообщество. 이상으로 발표를 마치도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.